welcome to the Crack of Dawn. I'm Dawn Lombardi, and I'm so excited that you're tuning in. We've been having a great summer, real hot last week, really hot. And now we had a big bunch of rain last night. I think it was a lot of rain. Hartford got flooded. There was a lot of rain out there. So I like the rain. It's not coming down on the roof tonight, but it usually is when I'm here. So I didn't really know what I was going to paint tonight. So I grabbed this fruit bowl off of my kitchen table, and see, it's untouched because that's the way it usually looks. I try, but you can waste a lot of money. So, that's why you bring your kids grocery shopping with you, because they change their mind. 1 minute they like a banana, the next minute they like the grapes, and you're gonna waste a lot of money shopping that way. So I thought, you know what, a lot of people paint fruit bowls, a lot of artists do. It's a still life, so if anybody doesn't know the term still life, it's basically painting what is in front of you. It could be a piece of paper, it could be a cup, it could be anything really. So it's a still life, and they are the best ways to learn how to paint. So when John and I start his painting lessons, we can do still lifes, John. I don't have to drag you across town everywhere, but over the weekend, I went to Fork and Fire. Oh, thank you, Kurt. I went to Fork and Fire, and I painted the bar. So I stood in the back. Oh, Dad wouldn't like that. I stood in the back, and I painted everybody at the bar. And I think I drank water. I didn't drink anything because I don't do that when I'm working, but I had some water. But everybody that usually has something at the bar, they stay for a while. So it came out really nice, and Kurt posed, and he's in it, and it's really nice. So thanks for letting me do that, and that's a gift to you for being so supportive of me. You have to support each other, which is another thing. Before we start our fruit bowl, I'm going to mention I do have 2 guests coming on next week, and their names are Linda and Gary. Linda Donovan, Gary Middleton. They're a great team, and I think in the wake of what's been happening around us, we need a little boost of energy, and I think your people out there need to realize that you just need to be a little more gentle. It's nice. So these are 2 gentle, wonderful people that make my life a lot happier, and they happen to be in my class at the Senior Center. So we're going to do this fruit bowl, and then I'll talk about a lot of stuff while we're going along here. But we'll get started because I know people are like, let's go. If you have a fruit bowl right now in your kitchen, or you can throw something together, doesn't have to look like mine, go get it. Okay? If you don't like watching my show while you're painting, do it another time. So it's fun. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put I'll put the table in first because that's what it's on. And I thought to myself, I can also do a self-portrait tonight if I wanted to, because I can see way over there, I can see myself on the screen. If Brian were standing over there, I'd probably do it, but I'm not going to do it. It's too little. So I think I'm just going to do this Beverly Hills 90210 Peach Pit look here. So it's great. Let's try it out. We've got this metallic looking table. I'm not sure your camera's not up high enough to see how it's crazy reflective, but it's very Austin Powers. So I'm happy to paint that. I've never painted anything like that. So I'm going to start with the table, and it's a big oval. Okay? If you can't see, I'll go a little bit darker. Okay, and a lot of people wonder, how does she do that? Why is she making so many lines like that? And it's kind of feeling around for trying to see which lines I want. So I don't know what I want yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around here, and I'm going to have this be the lip of my table right here. And it's going to go around here. And you'll see later when I add the paint, because once I add the paint, I can move things around a little. But you do need a sketch. Unless you're a modern artist, a lot of modern abstract artists do sketch, and some don't. So I'm going to put that going around here. Again, thanks to Tyler, my cameraman, and Kat, Brian, Don, everybody. Going around like that. And then you want to figure out where the bowl is. Now, the bowl, everybody will say, is on the middle of the table. So what I do is I start by the bottom of it, and it looks like a large smiley face. And it's right about here. And I always say that when you're drawing glasses, bowls, anything like that. Large smiley face. So I'll put 2 little eyes there. So cute. And then I'll erase them. You don't have to, though. So anyways, that's how you start the bowl. And then you bring this side up and this side up. And then you're going to draw an oval where the fruit goes into the bowl. Okay? And sketches are messy, and this is why you should sketch, because look at me. I don't really use the eraser. I'm going to paint right over it. And when you paint white over the lead, it turns gray a lot. So it's frustrating for some people, but not for me. So I'm gonna do the bowl, okay, like this. And so yeah, we'll have Lindy and Gary on next week, and they'll be a lot of fun, They're good. Yeah, he's a great, she's a better painter, he's a better illustrator. So we might flip that around a bit. And I wasn't sure about having 2 people on, but we're gonna do it. I can't believe I have grapefruits in my house, but I love them. I really do, the ruby reds, and Kat said she does too. Every now and then I do a healthy spritz of a ruby red, and I do like the way it tastes. So what I'm gonna do is I notice it's coming out of the bowl. So instead of just drawing the part of part of the grapefruit that I see, put the whole thing in, because you know what? It will make it a little bit more comfortable to see where the fruit is lying, if there's something under it, over it. So I put the whole thing in, and you can erase it later if you wanted to, okay? Next thing I'm gonna do is the bananas. And basically, it's another smiley face. So I have 3 bananas. Yes, 1 here, and 1 here, right on the edge going up, and 1 kind of turning the other way, okay? And I'm gonna add the other lines later. I don't need them. All I need is the way they're going, so it's easy, okay? Then I have an apple shooting out, squirting out. I don't think they squirt unless they're really rotten. I have an apple picking out of here, but peeping out. He's right here. But you know what? My bowl's not big enough, so clearly I didn't draw it correctly. But you know, to have a program like this and really show you how to do it, I'm just gonna put the apple somewhere else. So I'm gonna put it here. Yeah, so I was gonna go back to Martha's Vineyard. My friend Sonia, she's on the Inkwell Beach tonight. And I was gonna go, and I couldn't do it, but it would have been nice. And it takes a great deal, traveling takes a long time. Mystic, not so bad. I'm gonna do my grapes. So my grapes are just little balls, okay? So just think little circles. They don't have to be perfect. You don't have to say, oh, that's in the wrong place. Yes, if you're in an art class, you gotta be more accurate. I'm doing this, and I don't think it really matters. I'm trying to make a realistic picture of fruit. And I'll back up so that he can focus in on a little bit of sketch. I hope you can see it. So I'm gonna have the grapes going over. This will probably take 2 episodes because it is a still life. And I do want it to look nice because, and sometimes you'll see, you know, oh, she didn't do it that good this time, you know, and I try, it's fine. It's fine to make mistakes. And that's why I think it's, you know, nice to be a little bit kinder, you know, to people, help people open doors. Even if a guy opens the door for you, you open the door for a guy. I've done it. It's like nice, you know? So the banana goes up here, and then the banana top is like a big, it kind of looks like a big hunk of rock that you'd pick up off the ground, like gravel. It's weird. Okay, so I'm gonna put that on, and that's the part that it's all kind of shooting out of. Okay, so we're gonna put that like that. And then I'm gonna put these, the bowl, thank you, Landis. Landis lives in town, and she just moved, but I think she moved back. And I did a painting of her party. And, well, it was going to get auctioned, but we just didn't plan it right. So anyway, I gave it to her. I should have planned right, but you know me. So I gave it to her. And you know what she did? And it was a present. It was a gift, like Jill. But she gave me a whole collection of her bowls because she was moving. So this is one of the bowls, and it's got that like kind of almost like looks like you took a leaf pattern and then like dipped it in, or I don't know. I'll try it. It's kind of like maybe it looks like lobster things going up it, but it's very. The bowl's going to be gray, even though it's clear. People think it's white or it's see-through, but it's going to be gray and white. And I'll start it in a minute, and then my Austin Powers table. It looks like little mini fans. The ones that the little geisha girls use, like these, I think they use them, I don't know. I had them at my wedding. It was so hot. So moments before I got married, we rolled up all of the flyers, or whatever you call them, wedding ceremonial things, and we punched a hole in them and tied a little thing, and that was my idea, see? I do things just a little differently than other people. That's why I'm a little special. Here we go. So I'm gonna do these fans. They're all going the same way. Hold on, because I'm not doing it the same way. No, they're not going this, I don't even know. It's psychedelic. This is very hard to paint. It's all, I don't know if you can see the top of the table, but let's see, I'm trying to, it's like mirrored psychedelic. So that will be hard to paint, but I'm gonna try it. And the lights are all going over here, and they're causing a big shadow over here. Now in the background, I could do a self-portrait, and I told you I might, so I think I will. Back here is my camera. That's my camera screen. I'm gonna look over here a little, so you're gonna think that maybe my eye operation went back to the way it was in 1975, but anyway, I'm looking a little to the right of the camera, and I'm going over here, and I can see my show. I can see me. And so I'm over here, and I'm on this little thing. I think they have like they have 3 screens of me. So one's here, and then one's here. So cool. And then this is why I love to paint live. I start getting a little crazy with it, and I like to put in the background. I can't help it. It's so fun. So it's really fun for me. So if you see me out and about painting, give me a good toot on the horn, because I love it. And, you know, it's hard out there painting. My next one's going to be Dairy Queen. I already did the hot air balloons, and that's coming this weekend. That's so fun. And I already did it. And again, nobody bought it, which reminds me, I think I'm going to have an auction at the shop. Here's like all the credits. This is fun to work, and this is where my daughter is going to learn how to work. So this is like the switchboard back here, and it has all the buttons. So this is why it takes a village down here at Nutmeg TV, because there are a bunch of us that work together, and we have fun. So we make it a lot of fun. So it's pitch black in here, except for these big lights, and they're shooting down at my eyes. Oh, and I took my kid to the eye doctor, because he gets headaches, terrible, terrible, a lot. And so, you know, I took him to someone years ago, and they're like, yeah, he has blue eyes. And I have dark brown eyes, so I didn't know that, you know, and my husband's like squinting a lot too. So I guess it, you know, maybe it doesn't affect everybody, but, you know, maybe that was it. Then there's a big camera here, and it looks like a box. I don't know what it looks like. It looks like one of those things that flies. They fly into it, and then they die. Yeah. I have a few of these lights in the air shining on me. So I'm going to put a few of those. And those are pretty cool. They have tennis rackets now, because I'm going camping. And they have tennis rackets. You can buy them anywhere. You turn it on, and you just start flashing on anything around you. So it's kind of fun. It's like Pete Sampras camping. Oh, I can't believe it. I love it, though. But I love those things. They're so easy. You just swap the flies. So now I've been shopping with my paper bags. No more plastic. I think that was a good idea. I don't know. Probably going to have to just carry things, maybe on our heads. That was a great idea back then. My friend Maria said they did it in Italy, and she has pictures of her and her sisters when they were young, and they carried. Maria, I have to visit you because you're 9. Yeah, I'm not going to say how old you are, but Maria is one of my really, really super good friends, Maria and John, and she has pictures of her sisters, and they're carrying maybe bread or fruit, I don't know, on the head. You know, a lot of people do that in different countries, and here even. There was a girl doing it at the Rock Cats, or where did we go? The New Britain Bees, maybe? It was pretty neat. So let's start with the paint. Now, I put all the colors on there, okay? And I put everything on here. And I've got the grapefruit, I've got the grapes, I've got the yellow, I've got everything I need. It's gonna be a tricky painting, but this is gonna be fun. Maybe it'll come out really good if this is fun for me. So it's just like fork and fire. It was a lot of fun. I had fun. And he has these lights, they change. Oh, he has the psychedelic stuff too. But he has these lights under the bar, and they change from green to red. So constantly while I was painting, it was changing, green to red. And I think my kids have those. So yeah, it was a challenge, and that's what makes you a better painter, okay? So here we go. We are gonna start with, I'm gonna do a gray for the table, okay? And it is black and white mixed together, okay? I'm gonna start by not focusing on the psychedelic. I'm just gonna put the top of the table, okay? Because it's gonna be too much, and it's gonna drive me crazy, really, okay? Speaking of crazy, I told my kids, let's drive for like 10 minutes, and while we're driving, tell me how many cars next to you on the highway, how many people driving or texting. Huh. It was kind of weird because a lot of people were. They're like, Mom, that one, that, yep, every time one would drive by. And you know, I just try to get someone in the car if it's that important. If it bleeps, I'll be like, kids, get it, or you know, someone answer it. Yeah, because I can't do that. You know, you're not supposed to, it's against the law anyway, but some people, you know, they multitask better than others. Me, no. Okay, so I don't go near that. Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna put this here, but I have friends that do, I know. I'm gonna go like this. Okay, I'm gonna make my table, and then it's blue, it's bright blue. And then I can't wait to watch the 90210. Obviously, it's not my generation because I'm 58. I mean, what are we on Love Boat here if I'm 58? But yeah, I watched, just kidding. I loved the Love Boat. I thought the shows when I grew up, I think they should recreate the Love Boat. I mean, it's like The Bachelorette, but let's just tone it down a little. Like nothing happens in the cabin, you know what I'm saying? It was hilarious. It was so fun. And even I don't think the crew members, I don't even think hooked up. I don't remember. But I remember, oh, it was my favorite show. Then came Fantasy Island, right? I think I was allowed, I don't know if I was allowed to stay up for that sometimes, because that was going into like maybe an 11 o'clock bedtime. Or maybe Love Boat was on at 9. You guys are like, furnish the painting, Dawn. I'm like, I know. Every episode is so fun with everybody. And then Kat's been having, I've been watching her shows. Oh, she's one smart lady. Yeah, I'd like to go back and get a few degrees, you know. Linda, next week, coming on. She goes to Tunxis, you know, and she's a senior. So that's pretty cool too. She'll tell you all about it. She takes painting, and kids in her class are, you know, in their 20s and everything, and she's older. I don't know how it works, but we're gonna ask her. It's really great. It's very nice. And she's having a great time. She brings in all the stuff to the class, shows me what she's doing. I went to her art show. Unfortunately, I couldn't make her graduation. I felt bad because I was at my kids' stuff. Because kids, you know, they take up a lot of your time. I didn't bring a bigger brush. I just have these. Isn't that pretty normal for Dawn? But once I get rid of this blue, this gray, we'll be moving on to the colors of the fruit. Sorry. You're supposed to follow the eyes with the camera, and I just went like that, so it's all right. So, you know, this is gonna be a really nice one when I'm done, I think. And these fruit pictures look great in the kitchen, you know? I mean, my big, gigantic Friendly's ice cream one is great, but, you know, people want a fresh approach, a nice look. So the fruit feels fresh, it feels healthy, it feels nice. Now, it might look awful with my television set in the background and me on the air, so I might get rid of it at the end, but I just still think it's kind of funny. Yeah, so I'll be at Dairy Queen next, painting. I'll probably be at night because I like the neon lights. Okay, it's sort of like painting, I don't know, speaking of bar, like a liquor store has the bright lights. What else has neon lights? Oh, when I painted at Lake Compounce, all the rides were very neon and very hard. So you got to remember to bring some different colors with you when you're doing those kind of events. Because you do. Sometimes you need some colors that you can't mix that are going to be neon, or a special color that's a little bit more expensive and you don't have it in your average thing. So I'm going to Mystic again. I've had it planned for a while. I'm going with 7 ladies, and we're so excited. So there's 8 in all. I don't know what the house looks like. Someone did one of those Airbnb things. So I hope it's not like a Stephen King novel in the end. Brian and I were just saying, I love Stephen King. I think I went trick-or-treating at his house in Bath, and Tabitha, because they say that she comes straight to the door, but I think I would have remembered if she came. But she comes to the gate, or she used to. But he goes to all the Boston Red Sox games. Yeah, he sits, I can see him from my seats, or my dad's. I don't have any seats, what am I talking about? Okay, now the blue table, it's a bright cobalt blue. This is cerulean, okay? So it's gonna have to be a bright cerulean blue because I don't have the cobalt. Maybe it's French ultramarine, but it doesn't matter because you can do this kind of stuff. You wanna have a steady hand. It's hard sometimes when you're standing up sometimes, but again, I do all these live paintings and they're so fun. And the Fork and Fire, by the way, that was one of the best paintings I've ever done. And people will say, why? You know, you can't even see people's faces. They're so cartoony. And I'm like, well, look at all the stuff going on in it. That's what makes me, that's why I like that Toki Barnes from Martha's Vineyard. I mean, I like paintings like that. They tell a story, they're a lot of fun. They brighten up the room, you know? So sometimes you go to a museum and you're sometimes, I don't know. I love going to museums. I like the New Britain of American art in New Britain. And I've told you once before, I live in Charlie Ferguson's house, and he was the director of the New Britain Museum of Art. So I have a lot of artwork, just a little. I shouldn't say a lot of artwork of his. And he recently passed in December, I think, of last year, and he was a probably 90, 97 or 98. We've got like 4 minutes. And so obviously, that was probably a pretty boring episode, just seeing blue and gray. But it's okay, because you know what? When you're doing your fruit on the table, you really do need a good sketch, and you have to learn your perspective, and you have to do the background. So I'm just gonna keep going, because we always babble on, and I think they're just gonna run it again, and I'm just gonna do a second episode, so let's see if that happens. And that'll be fun. And thank you for tuning in. Really happy that people are watching Channel 5. I think it's that channel everywhere. I'm gonna go in with the bananas, just so I don't bore you on the last minute. We're gonna do these bananas quick, and I think you can see, they're coming out a nice color. You know, bananas are tricky. I had to pick out my sister a banana on the vineyard, you know, and I'm like, what do you mean pick out a banana? She's like, oh, can you pick me one out? And I'm like, oh, okay. So I did. But it took me a long time, because once she asked me, oh, can you pick out the banana? I was like, oh, I never really thought about which one I'm gonna get. So I had to look at them really extra special and all that. And then I'll just go in and do the grapefruit while we're here, because it's just gonna carry on. And the grapefruit is an orangey peachy. So what you do to make peach is you do yellow, red, and white. So watch what happens. I'm gonna do orange just because I'm cheating a little. Then I'm taking the yellow from this, and I'll mix a little white. I'm getting it, but it needs something else. It needs more yellow and more white. So we'll see what happens. We're just gonna go like this. This is looking a little bit better. Let's see if you can see like this. That's looking the color. So I'm gonna throw that in. Look at how nice that is. Oh, I love it. I love it. He's beautiful, gorgeous grapefruit. And, you know, he's just glowing in the background like this. Those are nice. When you open them up, they're darker inside. They're like red. And I don't know. I've never heard of anybody being allergic to grapefruits, but I'm sure it's probably true. You know, when I was a teacher, I don't know if I'm going to be back in Hartford. I hope I am. But when you're a teacher, you get this slip, and it tells you everybody that's allergic to stuff. And you wouldn't believe it. Of course, you can't tell anybody what kids, you know, it's confidential. But it was funny, some of the items that people were allergic to. And then it would say, like, you know, like EpiPen or like bad stuff. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm trained in that, but I guess you get the nurse. Or I think I might have had one on my desk, but I don't know how to do it. Maybe the age group does their own, but you know, you gotta be careful with that stuff. So I'm going in with my grapefruit. There's a couple grapefruits. I'm gonna have one poking out, well, no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna do my grapes. This is so fun. Okay, we have 2 minutes. I can't believe it, we're still going. It's so fun. What else was I gonna say? Well, we only have a little bit until school starts, and everybody's gonna get in their backpacks, go and get all the supplies. Did wanna say, you don't need all that stuff. At the end of the year, my kids brought back like all of the supplies that Kristen and Bill, our friends, helped them, you know, they paid for it all, basically. Yeah, all of it, except for the backpack. No, I think they even bought the backpacks. But then the kids come home at the end of the year, and then, you know, the teachers give the list, but then there's like 5 pages used in the notebook, and I'm thinking, is it my kid, or are they just telling us to get too much stuff? You know, because the backpacks weigh an awful lot. I'm gonna do the grapes. Okay, I'm gonna take this mulberry kind of red, which is crimson in a lot of cases. I'm gonna mix it with brown, because you know what, the grape isn't really, ooh, perfect. And I got that perfect color. And you know, he's gonna go on the next camera and he's gonna show you, I think. I don't know how to do the cameras. I get very nervous. I get nervous doing the directing too. I get nervous doing a lot of things. I wouldn't say I've had zero confidence or anything like that, but you know what, sometimes I don't. And that's okay. Don't worry. You know, it's very hard to have everything go great for everybody, you know? Things sometimes don't work out the way you want them to, and it's a disaster sometimes. But, you know, I step back, I try to hold my breath, catch my breath, whatever you want to call it. Start over, you know, like Kat's show. Just breathe a little bit, and yeah, but mostly think of myself, but also thinking of others. Putting these grapes in, they're so gorgeous, and I can go in between them later. Okay, and I think we're wrapping it up. I'm not sure. I'm gonna put these grapes in, okay? The other grapes are black grapes, and they were like $2.49 a pound. I don't know if that's good. When I shop with Joanne at Aldi, she looks at the bottom and she sees something numeric, and she tells me you can tell which paper towels are better by reading this thing. And I've probably gone shopping with her 45, 55 times, and I still don't get it. You know what I'm saying? So it's okay, it's fine.